Kebbi State is located in northwest Nigeria and shares common borders with Sokoto, Zamfara, and Niger states. It also contains Nigeria's international borders with the Republic of Benin and Niger Republic. With an approximated population of 3.5 million people, Kebbi State has a total land area of 36,800 square kilometers, which makes it slightly larger than the state of Maryland in the United States of America, and just about the same size as Taiwan. Kebbi State has 4 emirates of Gwandu, Argungu, Yauri, and Zuru, and 21 local government areas.
Kebbi State is a young state. It was in 1991, it was created out of Sokoto State, and therefore we are just like an infant.
Today in Kebbi State, a silent revolution is changing everything.
We have seen a lot of transformation under the leadership of Malan Said Usman Nasamu Daikengari.
If you want to drive any development in any rural setting or any place, the first thing is infrastructure. So the first challenge is infrastructural development, which I took very serious, and that will be the driving or the foundation for education, health, or any other sector that you are going to take up. So as of today, we have one of the best infrastructure in Nigeria in terms of road network.
The administration of Governor Saidu Usman Nasa Mudakingari is opening up Kebbi State like never before.
We had a blueprint developed by experts in all the fields, education, health, and agriculture. Now the infrastructure is there. Now the schools are there. We have built over 200 schools. I met only 22 boarding schools, and I have taken them to over 220 something. I met about 18 hospitals. Now we have over 35 hospitals. I met only 1 ambulance. We have ambulances, we're getting to 70 ambulances. We have all the facilities that you can see of in our health sector.
The roads and other social infrastructure are not necessarily an end in themselves. They are only a means of creating the critical link for social and commercial interaction that will move Kebbi's hard-working population to the next level of economic competitiveness and relevance.
Providing road infrastructure is a key objective of this government. Over the last 2 years, or since when the assumption of the second term, this administration has given priority to the construction of roads. That is why in this year's budget, the road construction sector had the highest allocation, 30% of the whole budget. And with that, we are able to construct a lot of roads all over the state. As I'm speaking to you now, it's a fact that there is no local government headquarter that is not connected by road. Third road, and in some cases asphalted. And we have rehabilitated virtually all the roads we met that were not in good condition. The essence of this is to improve the socio-economic development of the state. Now it is easier for people to, because as you know, Kebbi State is an agrarian society. We have a lot of products being produced all over. Now it is making it easier for them to put either to the state or to Lagos or to any part of the country. This has made now, if you go in anywhere you go, you see people engaged in a lot of activities.
The present government has constructed so many smaller roads, feeder roads. So with that type of thing, if you grow, you can also take what you have, the product you have, to the market. So we have this already going on. A lot of feeder roads are being constructed very well, and they come to the major roads. So we can take our agricultural products internally and externally.
If you look at the approaches of the governor, you will find that there is a decided planning, conception, and implementation in whatever he does. Look at the road network. Every road has connection to every other road, and in turn also it is connected to production and to also provision of service.
Kebbi State is experiencing an enhanced level of economic growth on account of a new spirit of entrepreneurship, which the present government is nurturing in the people.
His Excellency has provided over 2,000 number of water pumps free of charge, with 2 to 3, 4 number of fertilizers for people to be self-employed, let them go to farm, which is consequently being translated as Katashi. Katashi means wake up and work for yourself. Don't depend on anybody. Walk up and work for yourself.
You are connected with routes. You can move around, make your produce and sell it the other way. Sometimes some of these people have difficulties with movement. You can be making onions in one village in Aleru. For you to bring it down to Aleru and then move it to another place is difficult. Today those roads have been connected, most of them. That is a big opportunity. You don't have to wait for government to come and also do the farming for you.
The Dakingari government is making huge investments in human capacity and economic skills development.
How this has applied? You have seen that Kebbi State has created University of Science and Technology in Aleru, the first university created by the state. An idea, the state recognizes the importance and the focuses on technology. And now the state also has created this year the Polytechnic of Kebbi State at Dakingari, which is about to take off any time from now. Now, this clearly focuses the importance of technology.
We have so many educated women. We have so many women still going to school. There are even some that dropped out before, but they are now also going to school, taking a second chance and going back to school. But that notwithstanding, the government of Kebbi State have taken some measures to find that the selected cases, or the few cases that we have in the villages, that women are not going to school, there are sanctions for every man or father or mother that removed a girl child from school. And education for girls is being provided free, primary up to secondary school.
At the Kebbi Applied Skills Center, trainees churn out locally made products that can compete favorably anywhere in the world. Here, they have taken traditional skills in leather work and infused it with a modern approach to create stunning pieces of products ready for the market.
You see, the most interesting part is this. People come from different parts of Nigeria. We have people from the east, west, north, and even the south. I represent the south. But the unique thing is that all of us come together to have different area of production. One of those production is the leather seat we're sitting on right now. It is done here and good enough. There are people also interested in learning this thing. The concept is do it, make it unique, in a world-class standard so they can actually be sold in the international market.
You can also see the sitting room which has been done, the curtains, the chairs, the decoration, everything being fitted in there is done at the center, the Kebbi Applied Learning Center. The only thing that is not from Kebbi is the light fitting. So it is an opportunity being provided for the youths to be gainfully employed.
But in a state where more than 70% of the labor force is involved in agriculture alone, Governor Dakingari found it beneficial to focus attention on increasing agricultural yields across the state.
One of the areas is to focus on dry season farming rather than the wet season. Because in wet season you cannot control anything. You have to depend on the nature to provide water. The administration of the state came up with the idea that, okay, since we have the rivers and the land and the people, why don't we encourage the farmers to go into dry season farming? So the government bought 10,000 water pumps, provided fertilizer, and improved seeds to farmers free of charge.
The governor is encouraging rice farmers so that by buying all their output, so that to encourage them to produce more rice. And arrangements are on the way for milling just to process and process it, so that at least we will, instead of this importation of rice, Kebbi, we can sell the rice to other people so that we feed the nation.
Even the international media is taking note of this revolution, as this news clip from the Chinese state broadcaster evidently shows.
Now, to help boost rice farming, the Chinese government has provided high-quality rice seeds to the government in Kebbi State to empower local rice farmers.
Nigeria produces about 50,000 tons every year, which is not enough for the country that boasts of a population of 160 million people. The Nigerian government is now aiming at producing more than the 3.2 million tons of rice it needs to become self-sufficient by next year. The Chinese government stepped in to help Nigeria achieve its long-term goals. More land in the Kebbi State is being set aside for rice farming. This has led to creation of more jobs, in the sense that more people are now interested in farming thanks to the imported seeds. Chinese agriculturists in Kebbi State are also teaching local farmers how to use different machines in rice production.
These efforts are yielding results beyond the expectations of many.
As of today, I think everybody knows Kebbi knows agri. Last year, we produced rice more than any other state in Nigeria. And I can assure you, as of today, we have sold rice worth nothing less than 3 billion. And we still have rice.
Beyond its obvious prime position in the production of rice, Kebbi State also produces other farm produce. This historic market has served to boost commerce in its host community for decades.
This issue of onion, I would digress somewhat to tell you one story. I was in Paris, from Antwerp to Paris, where in a train I saw a very large farm of onion covering over about 10 kilometers, all full of onion. So I was so much fascinated, I have to come back and ask some questions. And one funny thing he was telling me when he brought his diary, that even the seeds, the sample seeds they used to start that farm was brought from my village, from Yauri. And he told me that by then, in 2006, they have over 5 aircraft that takes onion to Middle East. They only specialize in that's able blessedly, that's a quantity that they will harvest in order. It's all year round kind of farming. I was so much impressed. So which I feel that if those people who have come and borrowed our seed can make the, why can't we make devotion and determination to see that one is improved so that it will come international market for that.
Today, the government is prioritizing external trade as a way of strengthening the economic climate of Kebbi State. The Kebbi International Airport is the new fulcrum around which Kebbi's external trade revolves.
We should be forward-looking, that whatever you're going to do, when you look backward, you will never achieve anything. You should be forward-looking. Sokoto is about 1.5 hours from here, and it's the only airport within the radius of about 600 kilometers. The next airport that we have is in Mina. The next one is in Katsina and Kaduna. So even in emergency situation, you don't have second airport in this locality. And this is why we sought locating this airport here. And building this airport is the right thing to do. And anybody who is saying, how do we maintain or sustain this problem?
If we can build it, I'm sure we can sustain it. And the airport can even sustain itself because it's a revenue earning venture.
This airport will be an international standard. And all the facilities related that will meet the requirements of the international airport have been acquired. These facilities were also acquired in conjunction with the national civil aviation authorities. So whatever we are doing is we are trying to comply, because when we do it, they have to give the clearance.
In just a few months, farmers and other producers in the state will have direct access to the international market, a development which lines up with the government policy that seeks to connect rural fresh produce farmers to national and international markets.
The viability of this airport is not in question. If we are going to export agri products, we have to have our own airport because they are perishable.
This airport will also increase the number of mining and exploration companies who are currently coming to Kebbi to tap into its vast solid minerals deposits.
I'm actually looking at expanding the whole mining value chain, because you look at the manufacturing, we don't have enough manufacturing companies here. But as you start producing all those metals like manganese, copper, because I've seen malachite as well, zinc, as in the form of sphalerite, all those metals, at least they can help in terms of developing other people to actually create their own little manufacturing companies to produce those metals, finished metals from the minerals.
We have a lot of mineral resources. Right now, the Savannah Mining Company is operating this. It's working on gold deposit, and we are glad that our gold is not contaminated with lead, but with copper, which is very good indeed. So really, I can probably say that the Yawuri Emirate is rich in both minerals and natural resources.
What will this investment bring to the state? Actually, it's more than the state; it's the regions, northwestern region, that this will even help in general. But in particular, Kebbi, we are talking about employing almost between us and outgrowers, total of almost 60,000 jobs. If you look at it, that is 3 times the number of the state government's workers all over. And you can see the dependence on government will reduce dramatically. We'll be able to produce 100,000 tons. We'll do biocompost, which is fertilizer in its own, almost 100,000. We'll do ethanol, 100,000. Then we'll do power generation of 150 megawatts. This will give Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, all these areas, they will have permanent power throughout. And this will come from we are not putting it, it is coming from the bagasse, which means the shell of the sugar cane. So there's quite a lot of benefits coming. And then it will empower the people. The people now have what you call disposable income, which means even anybody who has a shop is selling something, then he will have a buyer in Kebbi, because Kebbi people will be empowered, they will have their own money. Then again, the same land, there are some areas which is Padama, those areas we will use for rice, and we will invest $200 million in rice, and we'll create additional 50,000 jobs in rice alone.
When you look at the Ministry of Environment, we have a lot of forest reserves, and these forest reserves have been on for the past 30-40 years. Those foreign investors can come in and invest there. We have teak, that very tree that most of these paper mills use. So anybody who wants to invest in paper mills can come, we can provide him the raw materials. If you are interested in poles for electrification, we have a reserve for that. And we use some of these reserves as tourist centers.
One cannot speak of Kebbi State without mentioning the Argungu International Fishing and Cultural Festival. This festival, which is one of the major highlights of the West African tourism calendar, began in 1934 when it was organized for the first time to honor the visiting Sultan of Sokoto, Hassan Dan Muazu. Nowadays, the festival even attracts sponsorship from multinational companies. But there is room for more investment.
And I believe taking over a brand like Argungu International Fish and Cultural Festival, will benefit anybody, any consortium that decides to own it. We as a community have no objection, for anybody coming to invest and take over the festival and make sure that it is regular. Because by and large, it will benefit us, it will benefit the state, and it will benefit the country at large. We have seen it done in other places, and I believe it is possible to do here also. And if they do, I believe we have facility and events enough to make it a whole year round up there. We have a very good ethno museum, which probably is the largest ethnic museum in the country. And it has artifacts from the 1500s to the present day. And it showcases not just the culture of the Kabawa or the people of Kebbi, but the culture of actually the entire northern Nigeria.
Today, the festival has evolved and grown to include a cross-country motor rally and other forms of contemporary entertainment. Governor Saidu Usman Nasamu Dakingari is personally interested in bringing in more private sector investments to Kebbi State. Even at a local level, he has pioneered a new concept of interstate economic exchange that was hitherto unknown in Nigeria.
This is one area that we should encourage. Lagos State is an industrial state, whereas Kebbi is an agro-based state. So we are exchanging. We are looking at the areas of our comparative advantage. He has the industrial know-how, he has the machinery, he has everything. Here you have farmers who are farming and they are producing. And if there is no market for them, they will not produce next year. This is why the relationship between Kebbi State and Lagos State should be emulated by all the states in Nigeria. And I think we also take livestock to Lagos and Ibadan. We take watermelon to Abuja and Lagos. We take all the ingredients that you can think of that will make soups to Lagos. I think that linkages, that multiplier effects, by the time we link all the country and we make formalize most of this trade, because most of the trade now is informal, even the revenue generation will be higher than what it is today.
Now, His Excellency Governor Dakingari says even foreign investors can take advantage of Kebbi's infrastructure and peaceful environment and invest in some of the state's key sectors.
Kebbi State is one of the most peaceful states in this country. And this is because the governor has been assisting the security agents, men assisting the community leaders, traditional institutions, to make sure we maintain peaceful coexistence domains. So without security, that enabling situation, investors will not be able to come. But in Kebbi, I'm happy to say it's quite great, and we have started getting investors coming to Kebbi.
My call is for all potential investors to come to this community of Kebbi State in general. As you've seen and heard, the state and indeed the community is peaceful. Our people are law-abiding. We welcome visitors. We associate with everybody. We make people business and investment to grow in leaps and bounds. We also try as much as we can to make sure people feel at home whenever they are in our midst, and at the same time we assure them of maximum security of life and property.
Kebbi has security. Kebbi has infrastructure. Kebbi has the resources for people to come and exploit. It is a green, it's a place that nothing has happened before. It is only taking up. So there are so many opportunities. And these are the opportunities that we are calling other entrepreneurs, businessmen, investors from outside to come and take advantage of.
Kebbi State has everything an investor can ever ask for today.
Courtesy of the initiatives and determination of the present and current governor of Kebbi State, since he came into office in 2007, he has brought a lot of infrastructural developments that are aimed at providing a conducive atmosphere for entrepreneurship, agriculture, education, and everything that will enable the state to become a commercial hub and agricultural development center that will be good for investment, agricultural investment, industrial and commercial investments.
I'm a businessman resident here in Kebbi State, and I've been in this town for 23 years now. I started my business under a conducive atmosphere created by the good people of Kebbi State. The business has been growing. In fact, the level where I am here today, I give God the glory.
This is a state whose economy is rapidly changing and growing. And Governor Dakingari and his team are appropriately poised to manage that growth well into the future. Come grow with Kebbi State.
Buy Niger, create jobs. Support Kebbi State. Buy from us.
Buy Niger, create jobs. Buy made in Kebbi State and transform Kebbi State.
Buy Niger, create jobs. Transform Kebbi State, buy made in Kebbi State.
Buy Niger, create jobs. Buy made in Kebbi State, transform Kebbi State.
Buy Niger, create jobs. Transform Kebbi State, buy made in Kebbi State.